Welcome back, everyone, to special severe weather coverage of severe weather that's been hitting the central states today.
Yeah, that's right. We've been watching it all evening long. We've got storm specialist Carl Parker, who's in the lab right now, tracking some of the very latest threats. We've got watches. We've got some warnings out there. And Carl, as we look at the radar and analyze some of these storms, what are some of the biggest threats that we're seeing at this point?
Well, we have been seeing some very large hail. As a matter of fact, tennis ball size hail reported in northwestern Arkansas, and that cell is still being warned on. We're going to get into that in just a moment. Let's begin in Nebraska, and right along the front here, we've been watching a line of storms dropping down through the eastern part of the state. A couple of warnings to tell you about on either side of Interstate 80. The first warning here for Adams, Kearney, and Webster counties, and that is going until 8:45. The concern here is going to be 1-inch hail and damaging wind. And as we tighten up a little bit, you can see that what we call a little fine line that has come out right ahead of the storm there. That is the gusty wind. You know how when a storm comes up, you feel that rush of cool air that rushes out ahead of the storm. Well, there it is right there showing up on the radar picture. The radars are very powerful, and if there's any dust or any bugs even that are picked up by that gust of wind, you can see that. That's called an outflow boundary, and sometimes that can form new storms. Now, there's a chaser who is up in this vicinity, and there is his live picture, and look at the lightning there in Clarks, Nebraska. So you're going to see a lot of lightning with these storms, obviously, and in fact, I'll go ahead and put on the lightning to show you what's going on the radar picture. So, you know, oftentimes, and I've been up here in the plains, these storms can just be tremendous light shows, just incredible lightning that can be nearly nonstop. There's that same storm that we were looking at just moments ago, and you see how much lightning is in it right now. And oftentimes you will also see what are called anvil crawlers. That's lightning that goes out along the anvil and sort of flutters in many different directions. Absolutely beautiful storms out there, but of course they can be very deadly as well. Now, I want to take you farther to the north and show you another storm that was warned on just moments ago. We were watching this as it came right across Route 30 there. Here is the high-resolution radar picture, and you notice just a moment ago it did produce a little bit of hail. We got a report of half-inch hail. There is where it was warned. Notice that deep purple color there. That's the hail core right there, and I'll zoom in a little bit on that. I also want to show you another product that we have. It's called differential reflectivity. So I'll go ahead and outline this magenta core. So this is where we would suspect that the hail would be right in there. And one way that we can check that is by looking at differential reflectivity. So what this is showing us is that where you've got the more reddish colors, that's where the objects are flatter. And that's what raindrops tend to be. They fall more like pancakes than that teardrop shape that is so in popular lore. And what happens with hail is that it falls more spherically. It tumbles and resembles more of a ball, and that shows up as that gray. So that is a real good indication of a hail-producing storm right there. All right, off into Arkansas we go. We still do have a warning here on this cell that is coming right into Little Rock as we speak, and it does have a history of producing large hail. Not recently, but in Hot Springs, we did see golf ball size hail. There is a warning now for Grant, Hot Springs, Saline counties, that going until 9, and the cell is moving northeast at about 30 miles per hour. Not very far away from downtown Little Rock, basically just off to the south into the west, and so as that moves in, obviously it's going to get ugly in short order. Gusty wind possible there, and certainly we could see some large hail there. And also into Oklahoma we go. And there we've got a warning for Dewey and Woodward, and this is the storm that produced tennis ball size hail in Oklahoma, no longer being warned on. So there is the area of concern for severe weather tonight, and that is primarily a wind and hail threat. Looking at the threat tonight, we saw a lot of available energy and some stronger winds aloft. Where those get together, that's where you've got the severe threat. Tomorrow, all of that is going to press farther to the south. The energy for the storms and the stronger winds in the low and mid levels of the atmosphere, and so that is where our severe threat is going to be tomorrow, and will introduce a better chance of tornadoes into the mix tomorrow. 3 out of 10 on the Torcon, centered around northeast Oklahoma, so north and east of Tulsa up towards Joplin. Also, Fort Smith, Arkansas. Then on Friday, severe weather from Louisiana up through Mississippi, Alabama, into Tennessee, and a 3 out of 10 again on the Torcon, centered right around Nashville, Tennessee. So a couple of very busy days ahead, Kim, for a lot of the country. Back to you.
And we'll be right here with you. All right, thanks so much, Carl. Omaha, Nebraska, you guys are under that severe thunderstorm watch right now until 1 o'clock in the morning. Dangerous lightning, hail, all possible, actually features of the storms arriving in your area. Meteorologist Paul Goodlow is joining us live from near the banks of the Missouri River, close to downtown Omaha. Paul, I know they're getting closer. Are you noticing any changes as these storms approach you?
We've actually seen a couple of changes. Yeah, the sun went down, but the temperatures also went down. Again, we're up to 85 degrees today, Kim, and the average for this time of the year is 58. So we're talking, we're 25, 27 degrees above average, and the wind has been howling, still very blustery here off from the south to my right here, and that's bringing in this warmer and also more moist air. As the temperature has fallen over the last couple of hours, Kim, the dew point, or the measure of moisture or humidity in the air, has actually gone up to as high as I've seen it and felt it so far today. This morning I was out here for Wake Up with Al. Dew points were just above, say, 30. About 33 was the dew point. Now we're up to at least 53 at Council Bluffs, which is on the other side of the river. Here we got Omaha and then Council Bluffs, Omaha, Nebraska, Council Bluffs, Iowa here with Missouri River in between. They're up to about 53 in the dew point, and the temperature has gone down to about, say, 75, down from a high of 85 here. But again, as you head about 100 miles to the west of me, you head towards Clarks, Nebraska. We have a live footage of a storm chaser who's out there following the storms, and there's a ton of lightning out there, not to mention a lot of heavy rain, and this is what's slowly making its way eastward into Omaha, into Council Bluffs, as we head probably towards the midnight hour local time, maybe a little bit before as well, and it's giving you quite a bit of a downpour of rain. You see the cloud-to-cloud lightning as well, lighting up the sky here. We can't see any from our vantage point here because we have quite a bit of cloud cover, and then it's over 100 miles away. So even with the curvature of the earth, we start losing some of those light flashes all the way here in Omaha. But trust me, it's going to be a light show later on tonight. So if people are watching us from eastern Nebraska, western Iowa, this is coming your way. It's already up towards Sioux City. They've been dealing with quite a bit of heavy rain. But the good news is we need the rain. The bad news is we can see hail and damaging winds, and that can cause a lot of damage at night when people really can't see this thing coming through. And Kim, I think a lot of people will be taken aback because it was such a beautiful day earlier today. Kim?
All right, Paul, we certainly appreciate it. We switch gears now to the Sunshine State. You got to watch out, Florida. Today, your flood insurance costs might have gone up by 18% or even higher. Now, that jump stemming from changes to federal laws dictating how premiums are calculated. New surcharges went into effect today, too, but there's a silver lining. Florida state government passing new laws, making it easier for private insurance companies to begin offering flood insurance as well. Now, certainly best to check with the local insurers to see if their rates beat the ones offered by federal flood insurance. Kim?
All right, thanks so much, Alex. Now let's head to the South Pacific, where there's been a deadly storm. Super Typhoon Maisak has killed at least 5 people and is now heading towards the Philippines. Now, this is footage from yesterday as the storm ripped through several smaller islands of Micronesia, bringing wind gusts up to 195 miles per hour. The good news for the Philippines, it is beginning to weaken. Right now, the wind's 140 miles per hour, moving west-northwest at 12. Drier air getting into the system, weakening it. Still a major hurricane, though, equivalent major hurricane, a Category 4 equivalent. Wind should taper down to 75 miles per hour or so into Luzon towards the weekend. Alex?
Well, we got plenty to track here after your local on the 8s, but first we want to get you out to Clarks, Nebraska, where we've been dealing with a line of storms moving on through, and look at the lightning flashing in the sky here. I mean, tons of lightning associated with the storm as it's moving on by. Looks like the bulk of the nastiest weather is at least to the south and east now of the city of Clarks, moving on off towards the east at this point. There is a severe thunderstorm warning to your south, though, until 9 o'clock for Clay Hall and Hamilton counties.
Currently in our area, 74 degrees under fair skies. Tonight, mostly clear, low 66. Winds light and variable. Thursday, sunshine and clouds mixed. High 83. Winds east-southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Thursday night, a few clouds. Low 70. Winds southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Which car company is the first and only to offer built-in 4G LTE Wi-Fi in cars, trucks, and crossovers? Ranking from top to bottom.
I'm going to say Mercedes is the innovator.
BMW just because they're pricey.
The final answer? Chevy.
This model has the Wi-Fi in it?
Yep.
That's the dream, to have Wi-Fi in the car.
Get cash back for 15% of the MSRP on select 2015 models. That's over $4,000 on this Chevy Equinox. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
Andrew, Rita, Sandy. Meet Chris, Jackie, Joe. Minor damage or major disaster. When you need us most, we're there. State Farm. We're a force of nature, too.
It's only 2 of us. How much dirt can we manufacture?
More than you think.
What's that? Swiffer sweeper.
I came in under the assumption that it was clean. I've been living in a fool's paradise.
We're here today asking kids what their favorite vegetable is.
Kids?
Now we're gonna give those same kids Bush's baked beans.
That's good.
Bush's baked beans, the vegetable that kids love.
Introducing new Flonase Allergy Relief Nasal Spray. This changes everything. New Flonase outperforms the #1 allergy pill, so you will inhale life. When we breathe in allergens, our bodies react by overproducing 6 key inflammatory substances that cause our symptoms. The leading allergy pill only controls 1. Flonase controls 6, and 6 is greater than 1. So roll down your windows, hug your pet, dust off some memories, make new ones. New Flonase. 6 is greater than 1. This changes everything.
The garden is the story of our lives, told and retold. It's as old as our time on Earth, and as new as tomorrow. You can have a yard, or slightly less. Gardening isn't about where we choose to live. It's about how we choose to live. Miracle Grow. Life starts here.
Introducing the new Can-Am Spyder F3. With a cruising riding position and the most advanced vehicle stability system in the industry, you'll ride with a feeling of complete freedom and confidence. Visit your Can-Am Spyder dealer and test drive one today. The new Spyder F3. Riding has evolved.
Termites like to use stealth. They live underground and build mud tubes, little tunnels made of chewed wood, mud, and I say this delicately. Poop. To sneak into your home. But I know all about their covert operations. Using my for your home. Orkin, pest control down to a science.
All we need to sell Strongbow Hard Cider is ice. And an award for best tasting hard cider.
Have you got the shot yet?
Remember that thing about keeping your face behind the award? Strongbow.
Welcome back as we continue to track storms rolling on through the heartland. Here we are looking live now. Pictures from Clarks, Nebraska. And you can see those flashes. Those are all lightning strikes that are showing up right now as a line of storms is moving on through the state, heading over towards the Omaha area. It's quiet there right now, but we'll be watching you very closely in the next hour or so as these storms move on through. But to tell you, Clarks, Nebraska is certainly seeing the lightning and light show right now. Look at all those strikes that are taking place, generally from cloud to cloud. I haven't seen too many in the form of cloud to ground lightning. That doesn't mean that is not a danger, but again, it's an impressive light show taking place there in Clarks, Nebraska. Wow. All right, well, let's show you what's going on in the heartland of the country as we continue to deal with these storms. Severe thunderstorm watch. We actually have that in place. And there it is in western portions of the state of Iowa, working through Nebraska and even down into portions of Kansas. That watch is out until 1 o'clock. So within this area, storms capable of producing damaging wind and hail. Those would be the big risks. There's the radar right now. You can see lighting up the sky. We've got the storms and all the lightning strikes that are showing up as well. Got a new severe thunderstorm warning that just came out there just to the north and west of the Omaha area there. That's for Colfax, Dodge, and Saunders counties until 9:15. We'll watch those storms very closely as they march towards the east a bit. Again, damaging winds could be in excess of 60 miles per hour. Hail also a threat. Then we move just down the line a bit, just to the east of Grand Island, Clay Hall, and Hamilton counties until 9 o'clock. Got a severe thunderstorm warning there that is in place. And we continue to watch these storms here in and around the Hastings area until 8:45, so for about another minute or so, severe thunderstorm warning, but it's been extended to the counties just to the east as that particular storm continues to march in that general direction. So until 9 o'clock, Clay, Nuckolls, as well as Webster counties, you've got a severe thunderstorm warning. And again, these storms have produced some wind issues here in Blue Hill. In fact, a home weather station reporting a 60-mile-per-hour wind gust. So we have had some issues there. All right, marching off towards the south and east. This is in Arkansas now. Little Rock. There you are right now, and just to your south, there's a storm that is in place, rolling on off towards the north and east. Grant, Hot Springs, and Saline counties until 9 o'clock. There's a severe thunderstorm warning that is in place there, and extending that a little bit because that storm is expected to hold together and move its way over towards Jacksonville. And again, North Little Rock, you are included in this until 9:15. Hail and wind, those would be the big deals that we deal with, along with some lightning and heavy downpours as well. So again, big storm there rumbling on through central parts of Arkansas, and just north here as we get into the northern part of the state, we have another severe thunderstorm warning until 9 o'clock. That's for Fulton, Izard, and Sharp counties. Again, the big threat here would be hail. Could potentially be talking about golf ball size. Kim?
Thanks, Alex. And despite the string of tornadoes last week in Oklahoma and Arkansas, the month of March totaled the fewest tornadoes, 11, since 1969, when there were only 8 that year. So what does that mean for April? Severe weather expert Dr. Greg Forbes breaks it down in the lab.
Now that we're into April, what do we expect tornado-wise? Well, here are the statistics. The 20-year average, 186 for the month as a whole. 2014 was about 50% below average with 128. The record, look at that, 758 back in 2011. There have been some huge outbreaks, and of course, one of those contributed to that record 2011. The super outbreak 2011, April 26, 28, included those deadly tornadoes down in Alabama, Mississippi, Tennessee. 293 tornadoes in that one. Super outbreak number 1 in 1974 had 147, and additional outbreaks you see there, 80 tornadoes or more. So it's a month known for outbreaks. Where the tornadoes occur? Well, on average, these red shaded areas, all of these red shaded states have above average tornado chances. The numbers indicate how much above average. And Alabama, known for that deadly outbreak of tornadoes back in 2011, 6 times the national average in terms of the tornado likelihood during the month of April. So you see a lot of states there. So when you get those tornado warnings, in fact, when you get those outlooks and the forecast for the Weather Channel days ahead of time, you need to be paying attention. Stay safe. Back to you.
Good advice, no doubt, Dr. Forbes. We continue to follow these storms moving through the middle of the country, particularly into Nebraska. Let's get a live look at how things are faring for us. This is in Omaha. As we look to the sky right now, we've got a shot of the moon. What a beautiful shot. But wouldn't you know it, there are storms to your west, and they will be moving in within the next hour or so.
Buy one, get 2 free at Joseph A. Bank. All sport coats, all dress pants, all polos, all shorts, and more. Buy one, get 2 free. New styles, great savings. Now through Saturday at Joseph A. Bank.
Need an oil change? Right now at Pep Boys, get 5 quarts of Castrol GTX oil and a Purelator Classic filter for only $22.99. Or let the boys do it for you with a full-service conventional oil change for just $24.99 with coupon. Trust the boys to get you there.
It's gonna go fast. Hold on.
just never know what's going to happen.
Holy this is cold! We know you can't control the weather, so we build things to harness it.
That was a good one.
That's amazing. Straight above our heads. That's just incredible.
Man, how do we do that? This is where I want to be right now.
Currently in our area, 74 degrees under fair skies. Tonight, mostly clear, low 66. Winds light and variable. Thursday, sunshine and clouds mixed. High 83. Winds east-southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Thursday night, a few clouds. Low 70. Winds southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
At Ancestry, we call it a hint. Simply type in a name and follow the Ancestry leaf far into your family's past. A past filled with stories that intrigue and inspire. And in doing so, reveal the one unique, improbable, and completely remarkable path that led to you. Discover your story. Start searching for free now at Ancestry.com.
It's the Men's Warehouse Total Style event. Get select suits for $199.99. 3 select non-iron dress shirts for just $99.99. Plus, buy one, get one free on even more. Only at Men's Warehouse.
Incredible! I've been Claritin Clear for 10 days.
When your allergy symptoms start, doctors recommend taking 1 Claritin every day of your allergy season for continuous relief.
With powerful 24-hour non-drowsy Claritin, live Claritin Clear. Every day.
You drop 40 grand on a new set of wheels, then wham, a minivan T-bones you. Guess what? Your insurance company will only give you $37,000 to replace it. Depreciation, they claim. How can my car depreciate before its first oil change, you ask? Maybe the better question is, why do you have that insurance company?
With Liberty Mutual New Car Replacement, we'll replace the full value of your car. See car insurance in a whole new light. Liberty Mutual.
Is there such a thing as a sure thing in business? Some say buy gold. Others say buy soybeans. I say buy Comcast Business Internet. Unlike internet providers that slow down when traffic picks up, you get speed you can rely on. It's a safe bet. Like a gold-plated soybean.
Reliably fast internet starts at $69.95 a month. Comcast Business, built for business.
Strong. It comes from a place where raw strength is just a starting point. Where doing something means doing it right. Where unrivaled dependability is backed by the strongest warranty in the business. And the only job is a job well done. Welcome to Strongsville. Experience Cub Cadet Strong with the new XT Enduro Series. Find exceptional financing and a dealer near you.
8-1. We have been shattering records. Look at this sample.
I'm getting soaked.
You weren't expecting that, were you?
No, I wasn't.
Welcome back to Weather Center Live. We're going to check in on winter weather, which is still going on in some parts of the country, including Denver, Colorado. And that's actually not unusual. We average about 9 inches of snow in April in Denver, and that is the second snowiest month on average there. And here's a look at the radar, the simulated radar, I should say, on the model. And this is going to show you how the snow breaks out during the day tomorrow. So by tomorrow evening, we've got an area of low pressure that gets going right in there. Snow starts to form there there along 25 and along 76, then continues through Thursday and even into early Friday. Still some lingering snow, though it's winding down at that point. So what we're thinking is a pretty sizable area of a few inches, probably about 1 to 3 there in Denver. But more than that, as you get up into the foothills, certainly farther west, maybe as much as 8 to 12 in the highest elevations of the Rockies. Now, that system is going to come out across the middle of the country and move over into the northeast, going to drag some colder air along with it. So there's going to be enough cold air to support wintry weather in the eastern lakes and the interior northeast. And this is going to be during the day on Saturday, and then it's going to be pretty cold on Easter Sunday, unfortunately. So there's the latest USGFS model forecast showing some heavier snow there in western and northern parts of New York, around the Adirondacks in northern New England. The European model not quite as bullish about New York, but showing heavier snows in northern New England, about 3 to 5 there in northern parts of New York. So we're going to continue to work on that forecast, but we do think that there's a pretty good chance that snow is going to be coming down come Saturday. Well, from the winter weather to the dry southwest, where any kind of precipitation is welcome, severe drought conditions causing the governor of California today to order mandatory water restrictions for the first time in state history. Part of the reason, declining snowpack. And take a look at the snowpack over the last 10 years. It's really been all over the place. We had a tremendous snowpack in 2011, 171% of average. But the last 4 years in particular have been dismal. And look at this, 5% of average. That is very, very bad news as regards the drought and agriculture in California. Right now, extreme drought. That's the second worst level of drought, covering 2/3 of the state of California. And here's a look at precipitation in history. Now, the green line is precipitation. So we have had very dry periods before. There's 1920, which is in some ways comparable to what's going on right now. But the big difference between 1920 and today is that the population is so much higher. The population is now 10 times what it was in 1920. So many, many more people are depending on that water to come in. Now, here's another way of looking at what happened this particular dry season. So we're looking at the averages for dryness and also warmness there, warmth, I should say. And then as we go out, we see the anomalies going out to the record warmest and then going out to the record driest. And you see where all of these years came down in the little black dots. And then look at where 2014 is outside of all of them. So it is, in combination, the warmest and driest year on record, and this goes back to record keeping all the way back to the late 1800s there in California. This is not good news at all. Now, we will get some rain in the next few days here. Here's the model forecast. We're going to see a little more troughiness, a little more low pressure coming down into the northwest. So there's Tuesday, 11 a.m. We're seeing some rain primarily in northern California. Then another storm comes in behind that. That's Friday. And so there will be some wet weather. The model's now indicating probably 1 to 2 inches in general for Northern California, maybe about a half of an inch of precipitation in total in the next 10 days there in the Bay Area. But certainly it has been a very rough time across a lot of California. Back to you.
And Carl, it's been dry in the east as well. Authorities in both North Carolina and New Jersey are battling wildfires.
Yeah, strong wind gusts, an unwelcome challenge for those firefighters. This wildfire threatening an industrial area near the Raritan River in New Jersey. Smoke that could be seen for miles, according to witnesses, who also say the fire spread to nearby business.
And let's go on to North Carolina, where you might remember last night, 30-mile-per-hour wind gusts were complicating attack efforts for this wildfire. For hours, it was burning out of control. Firefighters now saying the blaze is 50% contained. The flames tearing through about 500 acres of mountainside land and threatening structures like this nursing home. That's scary.
Well, our coverage of our severe weather tonight continues as we look at Clarkston, Nebraska, dealing with the storms. Look at the flashes of lightning. They continue to spark off here for you in Nebraska. The line of storms making a run for Omaha. We'll watch it very closely.
Currently in our area, 74 degrees under fair skies. Tonight, mostly clear, low 66. Winds light and variable. Thursday, sunshine and clouds mixed. High 83. Winds east-southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Thursday night, a few clouds. Low 70. Winds southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Storms continue to rumble through the heartland, the birdbasket of the U.S. Here we are looking live now at Clarks, Nebraska. This is from Storm Chaser Nathan Moore, and you can see the lightning flashes. They continue here, generally looking at cloud-to-cloud lightning strikes. I haven't seen too many cloud-to-ground lightning strikes from this, but it has certainly been a light show, no doubt about it, with these storms there in Nebraska. Good evening and welcome to special severe weather coverage. The big story, no doubt, is a severe threat across the central states. Alongside Kim Cunningham, I'm Alex Wallace.
And good evening, everyone. That threat today is in 6 states, Arkansas all the way into parts of Iowa. And Storm Specialist Carl Parker is tracking the system right now. And Carl, it looks like some of those storms might be taking a bow shape heading towards Omaha.
Yeah, we are getting some reports of wind, too. We got a report of wind gusting to 73 miles per hour there with one of those little bow segments. So certainly that's going to be a worry. And we've got some big storms now not very far away from Omaha and Lincoln. So let's begin with a look at the broader view and where all these storms are right now. And this line has really grown, even though the moisture has not been really off the charts. It's been marginal, but it's been enough to support severe storms. And we'll take you first of all into Omaha. And so here is Dodge in Saunders County under severe thunderstorm warning right now. The concern is going to be penny-size hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind. And this is moving along towards the east at 45 miles per hour. So it's not going to be long before it gets into Omaha. Seeing a little bit of a surge there, a little bit of a curvature showing up right in here. So we really want to pay attention to that, because where we see that curvature in these lines, that's where you tend to get a lot of wind. Now, I'm sorry?
Do you think that, as the night goes on, we're going to see more of a wind threat versus a hail threat, or you think it'll be a combination?
Well, I don't know that these storms are going to be going forever, because the thermodynamics are not really fantastic. Right. So I would imagine that they'll turn into big complexes and then begin to start settle down. Heavy rain, a lot of heavy rain, yeah. And right now we've got a severe warning in Hamilton and Polk and York. So that's going until 9:30 right along I-80. Again, the concern is going to be hail and wind. And then farther south, big surge, and this is the one that produced that 73-mile-per-hour wind, and you see that big bowing out right in there. So that's the kind of thing we're talking about. When you see that on radar, you know that there's a lot of wind. That's Clay, Fillmore, Thayer counties under severe warning until 9:30. Here's the high-resolution radar, and so that's reflectivity. That's looking at the rain. That's what you usually see, but we can also measure how fast that rain is moving, which tells us about the rain. And right in here you see that surge of red. So that's indicating the movement away from the radar. The radar is right in there, and what we see there is wind of 60 to 70 miles per hour. That's the way it looked just moments ago, and we did get a report of a 73-mile-per-hour wind from somebody's home anemometer. So these things are really cranking. I'll move this ahead to where it is right now. And you see where it's bowing out there. So in these little towns, Shickley and Davenport, on there, and all those little towns, I would think it would get very windy in short order. Could easily be 60, 70 mile per hour wind coming in, and possibly some penny-size hail as well. So heads up on that. All right, farther to the south into Arkansas, watching another little severe thunderstorm warning here. That is coming into Little Rock. Now, the worst of this storm is going to stay just off to the south of Little Rock. Also seeing a little bit of bowing right in there. That's Lonoke, Pulaski, Saline counties going until 9:15. But certainly we are getting some heavy rain and a lot of lightning now coming into Little Rock proper there. All kinds of lightning. In fact, I'll back up a little bit and you can see just how electrical this storm is. So obviously, now is not a good time to be near anything electronic, anything corded, a computer, that type of thing. You want to stay away from all that. You don't want to get into a shower. If lightning's going to get into your house, it's going to get into the walls and into the plumbing and into the wiring. So you don't want to be anywhere near plumbing nor anywhere near electrical equipment of any kind. So here's our thunderstorm forecast for tonight, and there you see the area of concern for wind and for hail. Then tomorrow, we're watching available energy reaching up here into the middle Mississippi Valley. Now, this is sort of where the fuel is for possible thunderstorms, where thunderstorms could potentially develop if everything is right. But farther to the south in Texas, we're going to see some warm air aloft that's going to keep them from developing very much. And then to the north here, this stronger wind where it overlaps with that available energy, that's where things are really going to get together. And that's why we've got a 3 out of 10 on the Torcon in northeast Oklahoma, and northwest Arkansas could be a busier day tomorrow and again on Friday as well, but more towards the Tennessee Valley.
So it looks like Good Friday could be a bad Friday for a lot of folks.
That's right.
All right, thanks so much, Carl. We appreciate it.
All right. Well, Omaha, the Nebraska, under a severe thunderstorm watch. So certainly now's the time to prepare. Potential is there for some lightning, hail, and, well, can't rule out the isolated tornado. But all possibilities here as we deal with the threat for severe storms coming into the area. And meteorologist Paul Goodloe is joining us from the banks of the Missouri River.
Hey, Paul. Again, these storms getting closer and noticing that we may get some strong winds in there.
Yeah, the winds are still gusty and strong, but off of my shoulder, you might even see some flashes of lightning as these storms get closer and closer to the Omaha area. We are under a severe thunderstorm watch until 1 a.m., and we're still seeing these strong and feeling these strong southerly winds here. The temperature has dropped markedly from our high of 85 today. It's another strong wind gust. Right now, we're sitting around the low 70s, 72 at Council Bluffs, which is right across the river. At the airport just north of where I am at 75. But the dew point temperatures, which were around 33 this morning, have now risen to around 54. That's that moisture coming in to help feed these storms, which will be coming this way as well. Sarah Dillingham, one of our meteorologists back there at the Weather Channel, told me there's a gust front just off to my west. She's going to try to time that out in terms of when we'll feel this real big push of wind coming in mainly from the west of these storms, as they're still over about, I'd say maybe 90 to 100 miles to the west of me. They're slowly making their way into eastern areas of southeastern Nebraska and eventually Omaha as well. So the timing is going to be quite some time. So pretty intense line well off to the west, but this is slowly moving towards the east. It's moving more towards the north-northeast and eventually coming on in here towards the Missouri River Valley. But again, north of here, around Sioux City, Iowa, they've been dealing with these storms for much of this evening. And eventually that line will also press through here as well. So do not let your guard down, especially after a beautiful day you had here, some 27 degrees above average. We will see some strong winds, first with a gust front, then strong winds where the thunderstorms come through here. And even if they do kind of fall apart as they hit here, they are still packing a lot of wind coming down from perhaps 30, 40,000 feet. So we can still see quite a bit of straight line wind damage with this system as well. And this will truly be the first bout of severe weather this area has seen this season. And trust me, there are no strangers to it. But again, the first time every season, it gives you, it takes a while to get your memory back into gear about what you should be doing with severe weather threatening. And again, this is going to happen between, say, 11 p.m. tonight and, say, 1 a.m. tonight, Alex, a time that a lot of people will be heading to bed. So hopefully they have their plan ready if severe weather happens overnight. Alex?
Absolutely. NOAA Weather Radio, a great thing to have on hand.
Right, have something to wake you up in case they get severe in your area. Let's take a look right now, live at Clarks, Nebraska, where storms have been moving through. This is near Seward, Nebraska now, and we have Nathan Moore out there chasing these storms, and boy, look at all the lightning in the background.
Gonna wash the dust off my soul. Gonna listen to some rock and roll. No cares, come what may. I'm making a beautiful day.
You're only young once, unless you have XV Crosstrek. Symmetrical all-wheel drive plus 34 mpg. Love. It's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.
Bridgestone's new Drive Guard tires are engineered to take a puncture and go up to 50 miles.
We can drive 50 miles on a flat, and you have an app that makes nails pop up?
Yep.
We could rule the world. But I've got carpool at 3, though, so
that time
we could, mess with the world.
We are fishermen, not fighters.
They say I'm
a great change is coming.
AD, the Bible continues, this Sunday on NBC.
It's a thrill.
Whoa, yes.
You're excited.
You're energized.
Grip it and rip it. Take a look at that action.
And for those kids that get to hit shots at the range, get to hit putts on 18, this is one of the best places in the game of golf.
The Drive, Chip, and Putt National Finals. Sunday on Golf Channel.
Currently in our area, 74 degrees under fair skies. Tonight, mostly clear, low 66. Winds light and variable. Thursday, sunshine and clouds mixed. High 83. Winds east-southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Thursday night, a few clouds. Low 70. Winds southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
We have been shattering records. Look at this, Sam.
I'm getting soaked.
You weren't expecting that, were you? No, I wasn't.
Introducing the new Can-Am Spyder F3. With a cruising riding position and the most advanced vehicle stability system in the industry, you'll ride with a feeling of complete freedom and confidence. Visit your Can-Am Spyder dealer and test drive one today. The new Spyder F3. Riding has evolved.
I am never getting married.
Never.
Guaranteed.
You picked a beautiful ring. Thank you. We're never having kids.
A little bit here.
We are never moving to the suburbs. We are never getting one of those. We're never having another kid.
I'm pregnant.
I'm never letting go.
For all the nevers in life, State Farm is there.
Welcome back as we continue to follow storms rolling on through parts of Nebraska. This is Seward, Nebraska from storm chaser Nathan Moore. And boy, we've been following these storms here from Clarks now into the Seward area. And boy, look at the lightning that is showing up. All of those flashes that's showing up here in the night sky, those are the lightning strikes. Generally finding it more cloud to cloud than anything, but it is a light show, no doubt about it. Kim?
Yeah, you'll definitely know when these storms come through for sure. So we watch this area in the plains where we have a severe thunderstorm watch in effect till 1 o'clock in the morning. So we have a few more hours with this. It extends all the way into Kansas. So it's mainly with a line of storms that's moving east, marching now into Iowa. And remember, Interstate 80 lies right in here. So it's getting ready to come into Omaha as we speak in the next hour or two. And a severe thunderstorm warning now is off to the west. Look at all the lightning with this. As he mentioned, though, as Alex mentioned, a lot of cloud to cloud or in cloud lightning going on. Farther south, though, with this little segment near Hastings, we're looking at maybe some strong winds, and we already reports of over 70-mile-per-hour winds with it. We'll talk about that in a second. But Hamilton, Polk, and York County under a severe thunderstorm warning here. That is right along Interstate 80. So you want to avoid 80 if you can, at least for a little while here around Grand Island, heading east for sure. And then farther south, we've got Jewell, Nuckolls, and Webster County under a severe thunderstorm warning. Again, this part of how it's bowing out like this, looking at very strong winds. Again, over 70-mile-per-hour winds with this. And you can actually see a little bit of the gust front out ahead of it. So as this moves through, you can expect maybe some wind damage with it. And here's some of the timing on this. If you're in York, here it's the next half hour or so. And farther east, we've got showers and storms into parts of Iowa or Missouri. And this little complex here weakening as it's hitting drier air. And then farther south in Arkansas, Little Rock still under a severe thunderstorm warning. Alex?
All right, Kim. Well, California is in a conditions. We got a live look at San Francisco here, and well, it is as quiet as can be, as has been the case, it seems like, all winter long. We need the rain, and it's just not coming out there. In fact, a lot of the western half of the country has been very, very dry. You take a look at how things have fared from parts of the Four Corners, dry conditions setting up into Nevada and California. California, the worst of it, though, where I tell you, we're talking 67% of the state is in extreme drought. Now, if you thought California's drought couldn't get much worse, it did. The governor today told Californians the hard truth about what lies ahead. April 1st marks the day when California scientists measured the Sierra snowpack to predict water availability for the year. This was the lowest snow survey since record-keeping began in 1930. The mountain snowfall was a mere fraction of what it would be in a normal year, and that spells deep trouble for everyone in the months ahead. Governor Jerry Brown laid it out in dramatic fashion.
One thing we know is we're standing on dry grass, and we should be standing in 5 feet of snow. That's the way it has been. We're in an historic drought, and that demands unprecedented action.
Never before in state history has the governor resorted to such drastic measures. Not that he had much choice. With an unrelenting drought now entering its 4th year, everything from food on the table to firefighting to basic drinking water are at risk. In a bold effort to conserve as much water as possible, the governor has ordered that millions of square feet of water-thirsty landscapes be ripped up and replaced with vegetation more suitable to the desert. A consumer rebate program will push new water-saving appliances into homes and offices. Golf courses, cemeteries, and other large expanses can count on having their water usage cut, and homeowners will no longer be allowed to use tap water on gardens and lawns unless they have drip irrigation systems. The governor's goal is to reduce the state's water usage by 25%. But even with the severe restrictions, California could be on the brink of an unprecedented catastrophe, and that will have ripple effects all across the United States because of the large amount of fruits and vegetables grown in the state.
All right, now let's take a look at the radar and get you updated on some severe weather that may be heading towards the Omaha area. Look at this line right now, a severe thunderstorm warning in Dodge and Saunders County. And a lot of you that live there know when those counties go under warning, it's not long before Omaha gets in there. There's the timing, 10:47.
Hey, buddy, you're squashing me. Liquid wart remover could take weeks to treat.
Embarrassing wart? Dr. Scholl's Freeze Away wipes them out fast with as few as one treatment.
Freeze Away!
Dr. Scholl's, the #1 selling freeze brand.
Leftovers, the unsung hero of meals. They get reheated, renuked, and rebaked. And when leftovers are done, there's always stuff left over. New Dawn Platinum Power Clean calls dibs on those. It powers through tough, dried-on messes in seconds, even 48 hours stuck on food. So go ahead, triple that recipe. A drop of Dawn and grease is gone.
Hey, what is this? What's going on? Well, where have you been? I was inside. Yeah? So long. It was nothing. No yard, no grill. It was just white and cold.
It was winter, buddy. Just winter.
Somebody get this man a burger!
Winter's over, and new and improved Kingsford charcoal is now better than ever.
I recommend Nature Made vitamins because I trust their quality. They were the first to have a vitamin verified by USP, an independent organization that sets strict quality and purity standards.
Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended letter vitamin brand.
Need an oil change? Right now at Pep Boys, get 5 quarts of Castrol GTX oil and a Purelator Classic filter for only $22.99. Or let the boys do it for you with a full-service conventional oil change for just $24.99 with coupon. Trust the boys to get you there.
We're different, in case no one noticed. We store fat more easily than men, but surprisingly, we can burn fat better too. Thermodynamic Total Burn is the ultimate fat burner for women. It amps up your body's natural fat burning capability, switching your metabolism into rapid fat burning mode and making it easier to lose the extra pounds that'll have nowhere to hide this summer. Don't wait to lose weight. Get Total Burn today. It's part of Body Lab by Jennifer Lopez.
You know those neighbors always making weird inventions out of junk in their garage? The Weather Channel just gave them their own TV show.
It's gonna be awesome!
Sunday nights.
Come on, Wind! I think I just made Mother Nature my
One man's trash.
This is perfect!
Is another man's wood-powered cheap gasifier.
This is incredible!
Failure's not an option. Oh, yeah, it is.
We got a problem, Houston!
Brainstormers, Sunday nights at 9, only on the Weather.
If you want to succeed in business, mistakes are a luxury you can't afford. That's why I recommend fast, reliable Comcast Business Internet. They know what businesses need, and there's a no-mistake guarantee. If you don't like it, you have 30 days to call and get your money back. With Comcast Business Internet, you literally can't mook a mistake. I meant to say that.
Switch today and get the no mistake guarantee. Comcast Business, built for business.
Welcome to Strength and Performance from Cub Cadet, the proven innovator of award-winning zero-turn riders. Welcome to efficient zero-turn performance with the ease of steering wheel control and an advanced cutting system, delivering beautiful results every time. Welcome to Strongsville. Experience the strongest lineup of zero turns in the business. Visit your local Cub Cadet dealer today, where you'll find exceptional financing for a limited time.
Currently in our area, 74 degrees under fair skies. Tonight, mostly clear, low 66. Winds light and variable. Thursday, sunshine and clouds mixed. High 83. Winds east-southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Thursday night, a few clouds. Low 70. Winds southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Welcome back, everyone. Check this out. We have got some lightning here in Bloomington, Minnesota. Also, some lightning in St. Paul, Minnesota. We've had storms rolling through. Check it out off in the distance here. And these storms were not severe, thank goodness. But here in Minneapolis, but we did get some storms coming through. And look at that bolt of lightning. Wow. Now, we've been seeing some active weather here this evening. A severe thunderstorm watch is in effect. This includes the city of Omaha, Council Bluffs, and all the way back into Hastings and into Osborne, Kansas. So this is where we're expecting more organized severe weather. So 1 a.m. is how long we've got to watch this threat. And thinking that after that time period, hopefully we won't be looking at any more severe weather, at least through the overnight hours. But before you go to bed, make sure you have a way to be notified for sure. Look at all the lightning with this. Again, extending from Minnesota all the way back here into Nebraska. And we have a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings in effect. Omaha, you are not under a warning, and the storms off to your west are not being warned on right now. But here around Clarks, we had storms move through, so we're in the clear right now. But Hamilton, Polk, and York County under a severe thunderstorm warning with this. We could see maybe hail up to 1 inch in diameter and maybe some strong winds. And in Omaha, we've got, you could actually see at the beginning of the loop, the strong southerly winds that are kicking in out ahead of the storm. And then we've got the gust front here. That'll be coming through and giving us some gusty winds. Then we've got the line coming through, and that's going to bring us maybe some gusty winds and maybe some hail and a lot of lightning too. So be ready in Omaha here over the next couple of hours. All right, then we also have this storm here in Clay, Fillmore, and Thayer County around Redbud. This produced over 70-mile-per-hour winds, and this is until 9:30 Central Time. And you can actually see the outflow boundary on this one out ahead of it, but you can see how this kind of took that shape early on, more of a bowing shape. That indicates that we could see that strong wind with it. Also, if you're in Geneva, it's 9:25 when it gets there. It's moving at 50 miles an hour, by the way. So very quickly, and it looks like Beatrice at 10:49, Lincoln at 10:27. If this holds together, watch out for strong winds with this storm. Here into Arkansas, storms moving through central Arkansas. Even severe thunderstorm warning around the Little Rock area. Let's check in real quick and see where right now just a lot of heavy rain and lightning. No warning on this as we speak. Carl and Alex.
All right, thanks so much, Kim. Here we are in the lab. We've got storm specialist Carl Parker, and we want to head across the globe because, boy, we have been dealing with a monstrous tropical cyclone.
This is an unbelievable picture that we saw yesterday. This is from this VIIRS satellite. It's a really high-resolution satellite, and it's an infrared picture, so we're looking at the different colors representing the different temperatures, the different heights of the cloud tops there with this typhoon, which is the same thing as a hurricane. They're just called typhoons in this part of the world, but extremely symmetrical storm, extremely well-defined eye there. You see all the the little striations around the eye, little gravity waves right in there. Same kind of gravity waves that we saw just the other day in Georgia and South Carolina, but just forming around the outside edge of the eye wall, and exceptionally violent winds right around that eye wall. Just a surreal photo here. An unbelievable storm. And this storm had winds of 160 miles per hour at the time. Now, right at that time, we also got some pictures from the International Space Station of the very same storm. And look at the eye there. Is that unbelievable? Just amazing. So much depth. You see there's a lot of cloud in the eye. There's usually a low-level layer of cloud. So it's mostly clear, but not completely clear. It's not as if, though, it comes over and you suddenly see, although people have seen the eye wall from the ground, but generally you don't. Usually you see a lot of cloud in there. But very, very well-defined eye. And this is the visible satellite picture coming up here. So the sun has come up on this thing as it's been going down on us, and it's closing in on the Philippines. Now, the good news is it is going to be weakening, and it's also going to be moving north of where Typhoon Haiyan came in late 2013. Winds of 130 miles per hour right now, and it's likely going to move over the northernmost part of the Philippines, the island of Luzon, and most likely will weaken significantly as it does so.
Well, it's good to know that it's going to be weakening. Yeah. All right, back stateside, still tracking the storms. We'll be back in just a bit.
Lennox makes the quietest system you can find. So even though it's the most powerful force in your home, it won't sound like it is.
For more information, contact your local Lennox dealer.
I always dreamed of coming here. When my asthma symptoms returned, my doctor prescribed Dulera to help prevent them.
Dulera is for patients 12 and older whose asthma is not well controlled on a long-term asthma control medicine, like an inhaled corticosteroid. Dulera will not replace a rescue inhaler for sudden symptoms.
A 6-month clinical study has shown Dulera helps significantly improve lung function.
Dulera contains formoterol, which increases the risk of death from asthma problems and may increase the risk of hospitalization in children and adolescents. Dulera is not for people whose asthma is well controlled with a long-term asthma control medicine, like an inhaled corticosteroid. Once your asthma is well controlled, your doctor will decide if you can stop Dulera and prescribe a different asthma control medicine, like an inhaled corticosteroid. Do not take Dulera more than prescribed. See your doctor if your asthma does not improve or gets worse.
Ask your doctor about Dulera.
Thompson's Water Seal Waterproofing Stain. The seal you can trust, with stain and sealer in one, and easy to choose colors. Exceptional beauty and protection have never been easier. Thompson's Water Seal Waterproofing Stain. Available at the Home Depot.
High-performance car, but still driving with indoor glasses? Xperio UV Superior Polarized Sun Lenses eliminate 100% of blinding reflective glare and offer the maximum UV protection. Ask for Xperio UV Superior Polarized Sun Lenses for the best vision under the sun.
Look! This is the new Asian-inspired broth bowl from Panera Bread. Our hero is the soba noodle, which we pair with fresh spinach. Mushrooms, yes. And chicken raised without antibiotics. Very nice. Then top with a soy miso broth. That noise! Panera broth bowl should be slurped with gusto. Yum. To explore further, order online or visit your neighborhood Panera Bread.
When you're hungry for the craveable taste of tender fish and shrimp, nothing's better than Long John Silver's. Now, for a limited time, enjoy our new crispy golden fish and shrimp basket for just $3.99 at Long John Silver's.
What does high-strength, roll-form steel look like? Like this. Chevy Silverado. High-strength steel for high-strength dependability. Current Chevy owners can get this Silverado 1500 for a total value of $8,000. Plus 1 year of Sirius XM with every MLB game. See your local Chevy dealer today.
It's a thrill.
Whoa, yes!
You're excited. You're energized.
Grip it and rip it. Take a look at that action.
And for those kids that get to hit shots at the range, get to hit putts on 18, this is one of the best places in the game of golf.
The Drive, Chip, and Putt National Finals. Sunday on Golf Channel.
Currently in our area, 74 degrees under fair skies. Tonight, mostly clear, low 66. Winds light and variable. Thursday, sunshine and clouds mixed. High 83. Winds east-southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Thursday night, a few clouds. Low 70. Winds southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
We have been shattering records. Look at this sample.
I'm getting soaked.
You weren't expecting that, were you?
No, I wasn't.
It is getting windy in Omaha. Look at these flags. They are whipping in those southerly winds right now. We will see winds change around to the northwest once that cold front comes through. With the front, though, we've got some big storms to tell you about. Welcome back, everyone, to this special severe weather coverage. I'm Kim Cunningham.
And I'm Alex Wall. I've been watching these storms all evening long. And along with us, storm specialist Carl Parker, who is in the lab right now tracking the very latest threats, the watches, and the warnings. And Carl, we've been watching these storms all night. And the big threats here seem to be hail and now a little bit of the damaging wind action.
Yeah, that's right. And especially there with this one little line segment, a little bow echo that formed in southern parts of Nebraska. Now, there is a line that's coming into Omaha. We're not seeing as much wind with this. We've seen winds getting up to about 40 miles per hour there in Omaha. The cooler air rushing well out and ahead of that line. And there is no warning now for Omaha nor for Lincoln, but there are a whole series of warnings well off to the south and to the west. So let's drop on in and first of all, take a look at Omaha, and we're going to see some gusty wind as this comes in. I want you to notice this little line right there. That is an outflow boundary, so that is the cooler air that rushes out of the front of the thunderstorm. We've all felt that as the thunderstorm is approaching, and that's where that gusty wind is starting to come in now into the Omaha metro. But oftentimes, when these boundaries race out and ahead of storms, it's a lot more difficult to get the really, really strong wind. Typically, you would have to have storms that are really racing along and sort of keeping up with that to get the really, really strong wind. So we are not likely to see severe wind here, which is not to say that we couldn't get an additional warning, but we're not looking at a warning right now. Then just a lot of very heavy rain and some gusty wind into York. And there's a live picture of Seward in Nebraska, and you can see the ongoing lightning there. We've seen a lot of pictures of lightning tonight, and we've gotten a lot of reports of hail and wind. And I want to show you the big bow echo that has come through the southern part of the state. So right in here, notice this sort of a backward C shape right there. That's where we've seen some really strong wind. In fact, that was south of Grand Island, more towards where the radar is and farther south. So from Blue Hill and on southward, a number of reports of 60 to 70 mile per hour wind with this big bow. And there is now a warning for Fillmore and Thayer counties until 9:45, again for gusty wind. And we're concerned about the possibility of some strong wind and some hail also farther south here as well. Jewell, Nuckolls, Webster County going until 9:45. So this is really the most active severe weather that we've got right now, and not at all surprising to see things generally settling down. That's certainly been the case for the most part, though not as much in Nebraska. Now here in Arkansas, we had a warning with this cell that did produce some golf ball size hail near Hot Springs. It's not doing that any longer, but what we are seeing is an awful lot of lightning. Look at all of that lightning that is coming through in Little Rock right now, and we're talking about more than 400 strikes in the last 15 minutes all across the Little Rock metro. That's an awful lot of lightning, folks. Remember that you don't want to be touching anything that has a cord, and you don't want to be touching plumbing. If lightning were to hit your house, then it's going to come through the walls and through the plumbing and can zap you. If you happen to be near a sink or in the tub or in the shower or anything like that, that's definitely what you do not want to do. Most people realize that, of course. So here's a look at our forecast for the rest of tonight, and we're talking about a wind and hail threat that is going to be diminishing. We're going to watch these thunderstorm clusters turn into larger clusters and also begin to settle down in intensity, and that's going to mean a heavy rain threat. Still some spotty, gusty wind and hail, not a real high tornado threat. Now, tomorrow, this front will have come down through the northern plains into the central plains, and we will see some stronger mid-level winds interacting with the warm and humid air that's coming up from the Gulf of Mexico. So here's a look at convective available potential energy, sort of a measure of the warm air in the lower levels and also the cooler air aloft that really makes air want to rise. Now, we've got that down through Texas, although there's going to be warmer air aloft that's probably going to keep storms from really getting going across Texas. But then farther north, we're not going to see that limiting factor, and we will see some stronger wind overlapping with the area where there is available energy for storms. So that is what helps us to form our thunderstorm forecast, which really does extend through Arkansas and up into Missouri and right up into southern Illinois and southern Indiana. So a 3 out of 10 on the Torcon index in northeast Oklahoma and also in northwest Arkansas. That's right around Fort Smith, along 44 there, getting up into Joplin and Springfield. 30% chance of a tornado within a 50-mile radius. We'll continue to see that slightly stronger mid-level wind on Friday. Again, it's going to be a 3 out of 10. Kentucky, Tennessee, centered around Nashville, Tennessee. So a couple of busy days ahead for severe weather, and we hope that you will stay with us. We, of course, will be live as long as we need to be when we've got severe weather threatening. Kim, back to you.
And a big Easter weekend coming up as well. Thank you so much, Carl. Well, Omaha, Nebraska, you're under that severe thunderstorm watch until 1 o'clock in the morning. Dangerous lightning, hail, maybe some strong winds, all possible in your area. Meteorologist Paul Goodloe joining us now from the banks of the Missouri River, near the downtown area, and I can see lightning in the distance. It's not long now, Paul.
No, definitely. Probably over the next hour or so, we'll definitely see the gust front first, and eventually the rain and lightning come in here as well. And Kim, I know you went to Creighton University. One of your, I guess, fellow Creightonites, I don't know what you call you guys, he was down here earlier. He was telling me that they're actually looking for places to park their cars because of that hail threat. So they definitely are aware of what's coming in here over the next couple of hours here, and that definitely could be impacting just being able to get around and enjoying their vehicle out here as well. Again, take a look at the radar here. There's two things that we'll experience here in Omaha. The first thing is what you guys have been talking about, the gust front. We're going to have a shift of wind and very strong winds coming in from the west. Winds all day long have been howling out of the south, at times gusting over 30, 40 miles per hour. We'll have that same type of wind gust coming in here from the west as the first gust front pushes through here, and that could happen over the next, say, 30 to 45 minutes. It's slowing down a little bit, so definitely before, say, 10:30, 11 o'clock local time, we'll have that through there. Then shortly thereafter, maybe another 15 or 20 minutes, we'll have the leading edge of the rain and lightning blow through here as well. And that should be coming in probably just before midnight, maybe even a half hour before that as well. And depending on the state here, in terms of how strong those storms still are, it could last a couple hours, could last maybe an hour and a half or so, but we'll definitely have a soaking rain here across the Omaha area, and then crossing the river into Council Bluffs and areas of western and southwestern Iowa also getting hit with the same line. We don't expect to see a widespread severe event, but as these storms do fall apart, they can still carry down a lot of strong gusty winds, so the wind threat is a huge issue even as we head even past the midnight hour, and a lot of people are heading to bed. If you do have some perhaps weakened trees around there, you might want to get the kids more in the center or maybe a lower level of your house as well. Just things to keep in mind if you know you might have some vulnerable trees close to where you're sleeping as we get over that as well. But again, we don't expect a big tornadic threat with this, but straight line winds can also do just as much damage as some tornadoes can do as well. So don't let your guard down just because you don't have a high tornado threat. You can still see plenty of damage with this system as well. And the rain that will fall is needed. Month of March, we're about 1.5 inches behind in our rainfall, and we'll probably pick that up in some areas just with this slow-moving line. And this is just the kickoff of severe season here across the plains and Midwest. And Kim and Alex, you know, it could be a very long and trying season here in terms of severe weather in this part of the country. Guys?
You said it, Paul. Doesn't matter how slowly it starts, things can ramp up very quickly. Well, you know, you've been sending us some dramatic images of lightning storms happening all over Nebraska. So we got some video here. This sent to us from a neighborhood in Columbus, Nebraska. It looks like the lightning coming here in a series of occasional brilliant displays. And you can sort of see the flashes every now and then. Again, this is out of Columbus, Nebraska area, and that's where we've been concentrating. There were some of those flashes. We've been concentrating with a line of storms moving on through the region. Here's a live look now at Seward, Nebraska, and you see more of those flashes showing up here. Of course, we're now in the night sky, so it's tough to see until you get those bursts and flashes of lightning, and we've seen quite a few of them here across the state. So this is something we're going to be continuing to follow. These storms, this line marching to the east, getting ready to hit you there in Omaha, so be prepared. Windy conditions, lots of lightning and heavy rain.
Currently in our area, 73 degrees under fair skies. Tonight, mostly clear, low 66. Winds light and variable. Thursday, sunshine and clouds mixed. High 83. Winds east-southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Thursday night, a few clouds. Low 70. Winds southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
It took James Dyson 5,000 prototypes to invent the bagless vacuum, and another 10,000 to invent the only vacuum that doesn't lose suction, thanks to patented sonic tips. Everything else is history. Search Kinetic now.
Introducing the new Can-Am Spyder F3. With a cruising riding position and the most advanced vehicle stability system in the industry, you'll ride with a feeling of complete freedom and confidence. Visit your Can-Am Spyder dealer and test drive one today. The new Spyder F3. Riding has evolved.
Andrew, Rita, Sandy. Meet Chris, Jackie, Joe. Minor damage or major disaster. When you need us most, we're there. State Farm. We're a force of nature, too.
Why do we do it? Why do we spend every waking moment thinking about people? Why are we so committed to keeping you connected? Why combine performance with a conscience? Why innovate for a future without accidents? Why do any of it? Why do all of it? Because if it matters to you, it's everything to us. The XC60 crossover from Volvo. Lease the well-equipped Volvo XC60 today. Visit your local Volvo showroom for details.
If you have claustrophobia, you don't want to be an orchid man. But this moisture meter lets me know I'm in the right place. Because for a colony of termites, these few drops are like the River Nile. But my specialized protection plan will help prevent termites from reaching this fertile valley. To catch a pest, you have to think like a pest. Not just in any home, in your home.
Introducing new Flonase Allergy Relief Nasal Spray. This changes everything. New Flonase outperforms the #1 allergy pill, so you will inhale life. When we breathe in allergens, our bodies react by overproducing 6 key inflammatory substances that cause our symptoms. The leading allergy pill only controls 1. Flonase controls 6, and 6 is greater than 1. So roll down your windows, hug your pet, dust off some memories, make new ones. New Flonase. 6 is greater than 1. This changes everything.
It tastes better when you grow it. It tastes even better when you share it. It's not hard. It's doable. It's growable. Get going with Growables. Miracle Grow. Life starts here.
We're here today asking kids what their favorite vegetable is.
Kids?
Now we're going to give those same kids Bush's baked beans.
That's good.
And finally, we're going to tell them that Bush's baked beans are actually a vegetable.
Ixnay on the vegetable bay.
Oh, right. Bush's secret family recipe gives them a delicious flavor, so they're a
vegetable
that kids actually like.
Bush's baked beans, the vegetable that kids love.
Welcome back as we continue to follow storms rolling through the heartland of the nation. And here we are looking live now at Omaha, and we've been following a line of storms off to the west, getting very, very close now. And every now and then you start to see some lightning flashes. There's one showing up as well. So these storms are getting very, very close. We'll be coming in with some gusty winds and certainly some heavy downpours along with that lightning. Meanwhile, just to the south and west in Seward, this is a live look here from storm chaser Nathan Moore. He's been driving along, tracking these storms as well, and we've been finding a lot of lightning with these as well. From Clarks now over towards Seward, lots of lightning showing up in the night sky as you see those flashes continuing off and on. And here, generally seeing these cloud-to-cloud flashes, not a whole lot of cloud-to-ground lightning that we've seen on camera, but certainly that is a threat out there for us with these storms here moving on through the Central Plains. So let's follow what's going on. This is an area that's underneath a severe thunderstorm watch, and that is out until 1 o'clock local time. So within the area, we've got storms capable of producing some damaging winds as well as producing large hail. And you can see the area that includes parts of western sections of Iowa and then trailing all the way back down to a few counties here in northern sections of Kansas. There's a huge line of storms that stretches all the way back from Minnesota all the way down in through portions of Nebraska. A lot of lightning associated with it. As we get closer, there we go into Omaha. And there's the city, and again, the storms are on off towards your north and the west, getting ready to move on in. Now, the good news, at least right now, no severe warnings along this part of this line, but what we'll generally see coming through is some gusty winds as well as some heavy downpours as that line moves its way on in within the next half an hour to 45 minutes or so. Then south of that, this is where we have the severe thunderstorm warnings. Fillmore as well as Thayer counties here until 9:45. So for about another minute or so on that particular part of that storm, the severe thunderstorm warning is in effect. Damaging winds could be in excess of 60 miles per hour. Hail also could be an issue. Then we head a little bit farther south, including Jewel, Knuckles, and Thayer. And then we watch with these storms that have produced some issues with wind. In Red Cloud, we're talking a 73 mile per hour wind gust that was reported along with a bit of hail. In Burr Oak, 1.3 inch size hail. So some pretty decent size hail coming in there across the plains. South and east into Arkansas, Little Rock, we've been tracking some of these storms and no longer any warnings here, which is some great news, but certainly heavy downpours to deal with and quite a bit of lightning as well. As this cluster of storms continues to march on off towards the east, Carlisle, you'll be in line to deal with that lightning and thunder and heavy rain before long. All right, let's see how the next 7 days are going to fare across the rest of the nation. Kim, take it away.
Well, the story is going to be the severe weather threat over the next couple of days, something we really haven't had to worry about too much this year, the progression of severe weather. We're going to see that the next few days, heading into our Easter weekend, big weekend for a lot of people. So we're watching tomorrow's threat in the red. That's the Ozarks all the way into southern Illinois, southern Indiana, western Kentucky. Interstate 70 could be affected by severe weather. And then rain coming into Ohio. We've got a few showers around Atlanta, drying out in Nebraska. Minneapolis, 65 degrees. So the big story next couple days will be the severe threat and more of a threat as we get into Good Friday. So heading to services Friday afternoon or Friday evening, be aware of the severe threat we're expecting from Kentucky all the way into Louisiana. Now maybe coming into northwestern Georgia later in the day. So Saturday we'll just move it off the coast. And you know what? We're pretty much done with it. Maybe a few showers, embedded thunderstorms here in southern Georgia along the Carolina coast, and that's it. And then guess what? We've got the cold air coming in behind it, and that is going to mean some wintry weather and accumulating snow just in time for Easter. So Saturday, I think kind of Easter egg hunts here in central New York or in northern parts of Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine. We'll be looking at some snowfall. And then Easter Sunday, still a little bit of snow around the Great Lakes as well. But 69 degrees in Atlanta, sunshine for an Easter egg hunt or going to church. Looking good. Dallas 63, though, as showers begin to come back again in our forecast. The Pacific Northwest, guess what? We're getting some showers. So we're going to start to see some rain coming in, even into California, which so desperately needs rain. And we're going to see that here Saturday, Sunday, and looks like Monday for some parts of California. But central and southern California, we stay dry. But look at this, getting more active in the Central Plains by Monday. Alex?
All right, Kim. Well, we continue to follow the storms right in the middle of the country. Let's get you out and show you what it's looking like out there right now. A couple of spots on the left. That's Omaha, Nebraska. The flags, they are whipping around out there. Just check the airport. Winds were gusting up over 30 miles per hour. You'll see the line of storms moving through shortly. Heavy downpours and the lightning associated with that. On the right, near Seward, Nebraska, where we've been dealing with quite a bit of the lightning. Show here. More on these storms after the break.
14 clubs. That's what they tell us a legal golf bag can hold. And while that leaves a little room for balls and tees, it doesn't leave room for much else. There's no room left for deadlines or conference calls. Not a single pocket to hold the stress of the day or the to-do list of tomorrow. Only 14 clubs. Pick out the right one and drive it right down the middle of pure Michigan. Your trip begins at michigan.org.
It's gonna go fast. Hold on.
You just never know what's gonna happen.
Holy this is cold.
We know you can't control the weather, so we build things to harness it.
Woo! That was a good one. That's amazing. Straight above our heads. That's just incredible.
Man, how do we do that? This is where I want to be right now.
Currently in our area, 73 degrees under fair skies. Tonight, mostly clear, low 66. Winds light and variable. Thursday, sunshine and clouds mixed. High 83. Winds east-southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Thursday night, a few clouds. Low 70. Winds southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
If you have Medicare Part D, Walgreens gets that you might be at the corner of looking for a good deal, and sheesh, I wish I'd look some more. That's why Walgreens makes it easy to switch your prescriptions and save money. Just stop by and leave all the legwork to us. Switch your prescriptions to Walgreens, where you could save even more on Medicare Part D with copays as low as $0. At the corner of happy and healthy.
True Green presents the Yardleys.
Hello? Oh, the pizza's here. Hey, come on in.
Right.
Whoa! Lose the sneakers, pal. Kind of a thing.
It is.
Spring is on. Start your True Green lawn plan today. True Green. Live life outside.
I can do anything.
The bed reacts to your body. It hugs you.
It's really cool to the touch.
The zip's off so I can wash it. Yes, please.
Visit your local retailer and feel the Tempur-Pedic difference for yourself.
My lenses have a sunset mode, and an early morning mode, and a partly sunny mode, and an outside to clear inside mode.
Transition's signature adaptive lenses now have Chromia 7 technology, making them more responsive than ever to changing light. So life can look more vivid and vibrant. Why settle for a lens with just one mode? Experience life well lit. Speak with your eye care professional to upgrade your lenses to...
It's a little-known fact that when you whip up a bowl of smooth, buttery Hungry Jack mashed potatoes on fish stick night, they'll honor you with a moment of silence. Award-winning Hungry Jack mashed potatoes.
With so many luscious layers, Edwards pies are one of the great wonders of the world. The colossus of creamy layers. The Taj Mahal of taste. Incredibly indulgent cream pies from Edwards. The luscious wonders of the world.
What does it mean to just believe? It means to live your life again. To be yourself again. To start recovering from your addiction with the help of people who have been there before and who know what you're going through. So if you're struggling with alcohol or drug addiction, don't wait another minute. Just believe. Call Just Believe Recovery today at 1-855-726-6112
B.
We have been shattering records. Look at this sample.
I'm getting soaked.
You weren't expecting that, were you?
No, I wasn't.
Welcome back to our coverage of severe weather. There is a live look at Omaha, and we've been getting some gusty wind here. Winds gusting up to about 40 miles per hour as a line of thunderstorms approaches from the north and from the west. A lot of lightning showing up as well. There is no warning in Omaha right now. We may not see a warning. A lot of this line is not actually rising to the level of a severe thunderstorm warning, but we have seen some very strong winds well off to the west, as well as large hail, and those storms are ongoing at this hour. So let's get a look at the radar picture now and show you what's going on with these storms. And they extend from southern Minnesota all the way down into Iowa and into southeastern Nebraska. Now, what's been interesting about today is that it's actually been fairly dry up here in the northern plains. Had it been more humid, we'd be talking about a much bigger severe weather outbreak. But because it has been a little drier, that has really helped things out. There is a warning now for Nuckolls and Thayer County. That's going until the top of the hour. The concern here is going to be large hail, $half size hail, along with gusty wind, 60-mile-per-hour wind. Actually, nickel-size hail is the threat with this storm now. It has come down just a little bit. And then farther to the north, got a couple of warnings to tell you about here. This little bow, this little surge, sort of a C shape right there, produced some very strong wind not far from Hastings. A lot of reports of 60 and 70 mile per hour wind, and no warning there right now, but there is a warning for York County. That's where we've been concerned about very large hail, possibly $half size hail. And then we'll take you a little farther to the east. New warning for Seward County. And here too, there's going to be concern about very large hail. Quarter-size hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds in the warning here. It was just looking, as a matter of fact, at this deep red core that is now just west of Seward, and within that there are radar indications that we do in fact have some hail coming in. So that's going to be coming right down along 80 and a little north of 80 and into Seward. Get ready for some hail there, possibly 1 inch and maybe even a little bit larger. But again, off to the north and to the east, up into Lincoln and into Omaha. So far, we're doing all right. We may see a warning for you in Lincoln as this part of the line makes its way towards you. That's going to come on in. But then you've got this other line that's sagging southward with not a whole lot of wind, generally about 40-mile-per-hour wind as it moves in. But certainly there's going to be a lot of lightning and very heavy rain. I'll go ahead and put the lightning data on there. And we are seeing quite a light show across a lot of the Nebraskan plains right now. So here's a look at Arkansas. And earlier today, very large hail reported in Hot Springs. It was golf ball size hail. Tonight, it is a big old light show. A lot of lightning in and around Little Rock. It's beginning to wane a bit now, but we're still seeing a huge number of strikes in the metro area. More than 450 strikes in the last 15 minutes. So, of course, you want to stay away from plumbing and electrical equipment. So there's a look at the outlook for tonight, talking about wind and hail in the northern Central Plains, Mississippi Valley. That severe threat is going to be really coming down tonight. It's going to be more of a heavy rain threat. But then tomorrow, we'll watch warm and humid air driving up into the middle Mississippi Valley. We'll see stronger winds aloft coming through as well. And when you combine those things, you run the risk of supercell thunderstorms that can produce tornadoes. So we're talking about a 3 out of 10 on the Torcon index right around I-44, Tulsa up into Joplin, Springfield, Fort Smith, those areas. And then we will see a 3 out of 10 on the Torcon on Friday right around Nashville, Tennessee. Large hail, damaging wind, also a possibility for the next couple of days. So a lot going on here to round out the week. Kim Alex, back to you.
All right, thanks so much, Carl. Now we're going to look eastward, where authorities in both North Carolina and New Jersey, well, they're battling wildfires.
Strong wind gusts, an unwelcome challenge for the firefighters. In fact, this wildfire threatening an industrial area near the Raritan River in New Jersey. Smoke that could be seen for miles, according to witnesses who also say the fire spread to a nearby business.
Now to North Carolina, where you might remember last night, 30-mile-per-hour wind gusts were complicating attack efforts for this wildfire. For hours, it was burning out of control. Firefighters now saying the blaze is 50% contained. The flames tearing through about 500 acres of mountainside land and threatening structures like this nursing home. Getting close.
Wow. All right. Well, of course, we continue to follow the storms rolling on through the middle of the country. Let's get you out to Seward, Nebraska, as we look live now. This is storm chaser Nathan Moore. He's been out there watching these storms, and well, we've been dealing with quite a bit of a lightning strike action. Looks like just some lights there from a car, but you can see in the night sky, every now and then you see some flashes showing up. These storms are right on the doorstep of Seward and marching on off towards the east. Heads up in Omaha, they're getting pretty close to you as well.
And we have one more thing to tell you about tonight that's coming up after Local on the 8th.
Currently in our area, 73 degrees under fair skies. Tonight, mostly clear, low 66. Winds light and variable. Thursday, sunshine and clouds mixed. High 83. Winds east-southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Thursday night, a few clouds. Low 70. Winds southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Welcome back, everyone. It's time for one more thing, then we'll let you enjoy the show. I want to make sure you know about severe weather that is moving through the plains and just a lot of lightning with these thunderstorms now coming into Omaha very soon, into western parts of Iowa. A couple of severe thunderstorm warnings. This is all out ahead of a cold front. We've been watching these storms move through, and now we're seeing the storms approaching Missouri Valley, Omaha. Within the next half hour to an hour, they will be there. You're probably seeing the lightning off in the distance now. The gust front about to come through Omaha as well. So watch out for some big storms. Also, Seward under a severe thunderstorm warning now until 10:15, including York County. Again, until 10:15, Milford as well in that warning for hail and damaging winds. Farther south, Nuckolls, Thayer County. We could see some very strong winds reports earlier with these storms of over 70-mile-per-hour winds. Boy, a lot of lightning, big lightning storm around Little Rock, Arkansas here tonight. Be careful. Enjoy the show.
Unbelievable sci-fi surf.
We all just kind of took it in. It was really amazing.
And supersized electric displays.
Amazing spider lightning crawling across the sky.
From mystery lights in the sky.
Oh my God, oh my God.
Oh, this is unbelievable, man.
To close encounters with a cloud like no other.
They kind of extend out away from the thunderstorm. It's kind of like a monster coming out of the clouds.
Welcome to the wild world of weather, where you'll see nature go nuts. Extraordinary events stranger than anything Hollywood can dream up. We discover how and why these crazy conditions happen.
Whoa! Woo!
You won't believe your eyes. This is the strangest weather on Earth. Oceanside, California, September 2011. Do not attempt to adjust your TV set. These waves really are glowing in the dark. Surfers rush to make the most of the spectacular swells. And walking on the wet sand causes amazing flashes of color. This luminous light show is a bizarre result of the weather. Local resident Logan Call recalls filming the amazing event.
We had my camera and tripod, and we just really set up right here. There was people on the pier kind of lined up. We all just kind of took it in. It was really amazing.
To find out what's causing this astonishing effect, we have to rewind. During the day, beachgoers spot a huge red slick on the otherwise indigo ocean waters. But this is no oil spill. In fact, it's 100% natural, and it's been brought on by the weather. Steve Haddock from Monterey Bay Aquarium Research Institute knows what it is that lurks in the deep.
Red tides are a phenomenon where a bunch of microscopic, usually single-celled organisms will all